This just in.
It's time for a 49ers news update. Second practice in the books, and the San Francisco 49ers had some more players return to practice. Thank you guys so much for joining 49ers Cutback for this news update. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. On that push for 5K, and you can help me get there. But the injuries for the 49ers have been slowly dwindling to where almost everyone is at practice. Rest is a very big thing, especially in the playoffs. 49ers did their part. They won a lot of football games, and now they are reaping the benefits of getting healthy at the right time. So, who came back for the San Francisco 49ers? Well, that would be Dre Greenlaw, who came back first. Greenlaw is a big return. Of course, he missed the Rams game with what they described as Achilles tendonitis. But we know throughout this season, Dre Greenlaw has been beat up. He's had some nagging injuries that he's been playing through. And you could tell when the 49ers have a long stretch of games, it looks like it slowly wears him out. And I think it's because he's never been capable of getting all the way healthy. Well, now he's had some time off. He's got 3 weeks of rest, and now he's returning to practice. And the 49ers got to feel very optimistic about Dre Greenlaw and how he's going to be playing against the Green Bay Packers. Let's be honest, they're going to need him to be able to stop Aaron Jones and the Green Bay run game. But Dre Greenlaw is up for the task, and it's good news that Greenlaw is going to be healthy. So 49ers inching towards full strength. And of course, Kyle had said he was coming back to practice today, and he did. Also returning to practice today was Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan, is he going to be the starter at safety, or is it going to be Jair Brown? We don't know, but we do know the 49ers want that veteran in the safety room. They want someone they feel comfortable with, that he understands what concepts he's looking at as far as offensively, and he knows where to be at the right time. Plus, I was definitely optimistic after seeing the way he played against the Los Angeles Rams in Week 18. He was in the box making plays behind the line of scrimmage. He knew exactly where he was supposed to be as far as coverage. So Logan Ryan is a huge key to the 49ers' success in the playoffs. Both Steve Wilks and Fred Warner have talked about his communication skills. And on the back end of a defense in the secondary, communication is a key. Imagine having Tashawn Gibson and Logan Ryan, who communicate at such a high level, being able to bark commands to each side of the secondary. They'll make sure there's no missed assignments and that everyone's on the same page. But we're not sure yet if it's going to be Ryan or Jair Brown that end up starting at safety. The good news is the 49ers look like they're going to have a choice to make, and that means Mason Ryan is healthy and capable of practicing. Now, one of the big news has been Clelin Ferrell, and Ferrell is the lone 49er now that's not practicing. And of course, it has been very much a thought that he's going to miss this game. Now it's appearing that it's definitely clear he's going to miss this game. Hopefully, he will be back for the championship round, NFC Championship game next Sunday. But as of right now, Clelin Ferrell will not be playing, which means a bigger role for Chase Young. And we know Chase Young is up to the task. Now, full participation in practice today. You had Eric Armstead. He's been dealing with the foot and knee. Jair Brown is back. John Feliciano is back. Deshaun Gibson, which is great. George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, George Odom, and Ambry Thomas. Now, one of the most interesting things has been, it looks like Danny Gray is not going to have not going to be brought back from the IR. That is Danny Gray a full year now that he's not going to be playing. So 49ers elect to go with what they got, and they're probably still going to have a roster decision to make, which I'll get to in a second. But the 49ers elect not to bring Danny Gray back from IR. I think this is a season where he's dealing with circumstance. He got hurt during preseason. That opened the door for a young rookie like Ronnie Bell to be able to come in and make some plays. And then during the season, Chris Conley proved how instrumental he can be as far as blocking. And I think those are things the 49ers definitely want on their football team. But you just couldn't bring Danny Gray back the way this roster is currently built. You just don't have room for another wide receiver. It's a good thing they got him 3 weeks of practice. They got to see what he looks like, get him reacclimated to football. That'll help jumpstart his offseason, where the 49ers are going to have some roster decisions to make at wide receiver. Dewan Jennings is going to be in a restricted free agent. They're going to make a decision on him. Ray McLeod is going to be an unrestricted free agent, so they could be looking to replace him. So the 49ers have some decisions, an extension looming for Brandon Ayuk. And I'm sure Danny Gray will be in the mix for the 49ers at wide receiver. And I think they were very happy with what he looked like at training camp. Maybe next year in year 3, he'll look even better. Part of the reason the 49ers might have to make a decision at the wide receiver room, not even just with Danny Gray, is they're looking to bring back George Odom. George Odom, of course, is in his practice window, and he was wearing the blue vest yesterday. Today, the blue vest was off, and he was having light contact, which means he's trending towards playing. We know how much the 49ers value George Odom's ability on special teams, and that ability just might be enough to get him on this roster. The 49ers might have to make a position change at wide receiver where you have 6 current on the roster. Can you keep 6 and still get George Odom and not lose in another area? Injury to Cleveland Farrell means you can't lose a defensive line. So it's just going to make it very difficult. The places you have extra players, linebacker, where you have D Winners, you have Graham, and you have Flanagan Fowles. I don't think the 49ers want to lose any of them. They've been pivotal for special teams. At wide receiver, the extra guys, Ronnie Bell and Conley, don't have extra guys at running back or offensive line. It's going to be tough for the 49ers to make a decision, but ultimately they might have to decide between Chris Conley and Ronnie Bell to get George Odom back to the roster. Whatever that decision is going to be, it's going to be difficult, but it's going to be needed because the 49ers could definitely use George Odom on their special teams unit. He led the team in tackles on special teams, even though he missed the last 4 or 5 games of the season. Odom is just that kind of player, and the 49ers have been the 25th best special teams according to DVOA. That needs to be better in the playoffs. You got to be a complete complementary team. But that's good news as far as the 49ers getting everyone back. You look over at the Green Bay Packers, and cornerback Jair Brown did not practice, and they're doing walkthroughs. They had a short week, all the travel to Dallas, travel back, traveling to San Francisco. No time for any real physical practice. It's all walkthroughs. And Jair Alexander hasn't been able to go, which means it's up in the air. My guess is he's going to go out there. He's going to attempt to play. Weather could be a huge factor in how effective and efficient he is playing the cornerback position. If you don't know where the wide receiver is going and you have to plant with a bad ankle, that could be bad. So Jair Alexander is more up in the air. I do expect him to play, but we'll keep monitoring because he missed practice. Again, running back A.J. Dillon continues to miss practice with a thumb and neck. I don't know if he's going to be able to go, where I'm more confident in Alexander, less confident in Dillon. This might be an Aaron Jones game, and he might have to just get all the carries and carry the load for the Green Bay Packers. We'll see how it goes. And the defensive tackle, Kingsley Enagbare, he's out with a knee injury, and it's very unlikely that he's going to play in this football game. Now, Green Bay has a plethora of players that are limited in practice still right now, from defensive end Kenny Clark, the linebacker Rashawn Gary, and safety Darnell Savage. I mean, you could literally list every single one of these guys, but they're all going to play. The truth is, if you are a limited participant in practice in the playoffs, you're playing in the game. So I expect Green Bay to be near full strength when they come to Santa Clara, and I expect the 49ers to be near full strength when they strap up and play that game on Saturday night. We're going to keep watching the weather, see if the weather could be a determining factor in who wins this football game. But ultimately, this is going to be a fun matchup. It looks like players are trending in the right direction, and we're going to get to see a showdown in Santa Clara. San Francisco 49ers versus Green Bay Packers. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for coming through and checking out the channel. Hope you guys will like and subscribe. Help me get to 5K. Appreciate all of you. Of course, more news will come out this week, and I'll bring it to you. So thanks, everyone, for coming through. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.